afternoon. The second session of this match was equally as good. Obviously, the result didn't come in the second session. The result will come in this session. Ronnie O'Sullivan, as Dennis Tedder mentioned in the pre-match interviews, managed to win 9 frames on the trot against the former world champion. John, it's it's almost impossible from 11-5.
Yes, I was very impressed with Mark yesterday, though. You know, 11-3 must have been tempting to look for the exit with that, but he stuck in there. Made a break of 86 and then managed to win the last one. Difficult when you're playing against someone who was playing as well as O'Sullivan was, because he really was awesome yesterday.
Yes, his great friend, the renowned artist Damien Hirst, has been with him for his first match and a half, and I'm sure that Damien seems to have an influence on Ronnie and gets him concentrating hard, and he's just played flawless so far. Well, we've got 2 world champions on show in the Crucible Theatre, and we've got another one watching. Dave Wolfie Adams, obviously the world darts champion. Martin Wolfie Adams, of course, is a fantastic champion as well, and looking at 2 other champions playing just in front of him.
Well, nice to find a plant at the corner of the pack. But just dropping in dead weight.
Mark Williams, 1.
Probably won't get any great advantage from this because the pack at the moment is very tight. It'd take a really poor shot from Ronnie to leave him in here.
What a clever little shot that was. And I think he's on the pink in the middle. Played the stunt to the edge of the pack. He can pot the pink, but unfortunately he's going to... I don't think he can apply the screw he needs, as we see that clever little shot to hit the edge of the pack. The one below the black doesn't appear to pot in the right-hand corner, and I don't know how he can get on in the left unless he really plays a deep screw shot, and that's unlikely at this stage. Well, I said unlikely. He tried it, and if he'd have brushed by the pack of reds, he would have been on that red,
7.
Just below the black. Great effort.
Mark Williams, 7.
Well, didn't want the bump in the middle pocket, but it could have been worse. Might play a bit of a shot to nothing here with the plant at the top.
Not too bad actually. There's a couple of reds that are available, but neither of which he can get back to baulk. So the red that's tight on the right hand side cushion, half ball off that, and that may free the black and get the cue ball in back up the table behind the brown spot area. He's looking at a possible shot to nothing, but I can't quite see how he can get around the back of the black. Well, he found one, didn't he? I didn't think he could see enough of that one. That shows you how well he's cueing.
These are tough shots on here. Super fast loss just to get these dead weight.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
Yep. I'm a bit surprised how poorly he's played it, but you can definitely make a mess of those. Last thing you want to do with them is not reach.
Well, the one that's on the pink spot, he could cut it very, very thin and get back into baulk, but he'd be pushing red towards the right-hand corner. So he's found an alternative. I can't quite see from here which one it is.
And then he's got a shot where he can drop on the red on the top cushion off the side cushion if he wants. But of course he didn't get that right. He'd be leaving a red near the pink spot. So what's he found here? Well, whatever it was wrong.
Black's come into play, but still out of commission. So may have to work on the pink for a few shots.
Just wondering whether that red is on the pink spot, so you have to be careful. If you go straight for the pink, it's going to go in the middle of those two reds on the black spot, so that wouldn't be much good either. Well, that's tight.
It's a good one, that, John. I don't know whether Ronnie's noticed that yet. And if that is the scenario, he might even take the blue or the brown or yellow. It's difficult unless he plays a little cannon on the red that is on the pink spot now, which he's on. I mean, that's as good as anything. Just nudge that red off the pink spot. Well, he feels that it going on the black spots is not going to cause a problem. I think Ronnie's made a mistake here. I don't think he's realised. Let's have a look at his face. Yeah, I don't think he realises, you see.
7.
He's a little bit annoyed with himself there.
Eight. $13. 14. $9. 20.
Well, pink and black
25.
being out of commission, but he's getting the right side of the blue all the time.
26.
His touch is just quite remarkable, it really is. You see players here in 2 or 3 shots and they've lost position wrong side of the blue. He's always on the right side of it.
Well, that could be the commentator's curse, couldn't it, after the next red? You're under pressure here, John.
31. 32.
Just.
$37. 38.
Yeah, just left-handed, folks. And he does hit the ball pure, both-handed. Unbelievable. What an advantage that is.
Little bit of mileage in here and trying to just kiss the black. That would be in his eye line, because then it knows whatever kind of kiss he gets, he's going to be on a red. So he's actually played it too well. He's going to finish hampered.
42.
Beautiful shot, that.
$43.
Where pink and black were at the start of this break, it was hard to see him making 130, but he's on 43 and counting. Just the one more loose red, the one in between pink and black. And that is absolutely perfect. Maybe the one below the pink pots as well.
45. $46.
Just have to flick this red out if he can. No surprise, it's perfect. What a touch this boy has got. Honestly, this break at the start of it. Did it honestly look like he was going to win the frame off it? I don't think so.
46 in front, pink 52. So obviously now is going to win the frame off it, and quite remarkable. But we all get excited about century breaks, but this has been as good as a century the way he's compiled this break.
60.
$11 reds, 1 yellow, 1 brown, 5 blues, 5 pinks. 3 pinks, I should say, not 5. Surely not. Not tight on the cushion, perfect. Phone the police. Phone the police. Genius in the house. Just checking to see what colour he needs to make it. Oh, what a shame. He was checking. He looked at the scoreboard to see if he could make a century with the pink. Unfortunately, the pink didn't go in. Ronnie O'Sullivan goes 1 away from victory, and he leads 12-5.
Now, we thought that it was highly unlikely that Mark Williams would be able to stage a comeback, but it's looking extremely doubtful now. Can you just assess Ronnie O'Sullivan's mood, his demeanour, and indeed his form over the last couple of days for us, Steve?
Well, it seems since he's been here last week, and don't forget this tournament's over a week old now, but he's been in good shape mentally. His form looks superb. I've always felt that the second week of the tournament is where the players that seem to be the runners and riders for the final stages start to show a bit of form, and it would appear, obviously anything can happen in any one match, it would appear that Ronnie O'Sullivan is in the type of form that can win his world championship for him.
Yeah, he's chasing his first world title since 2008. And when you think about the roller coaster that he's been on in the intervening years, I mean, it was only a couple of months ago, really, that he won the German Masters and thereby circumvented the need to actually qualify for this event. I mean, that's how close he came to dropping out of the 16 and having to really work his way back into this event.
That's right. Not because of his play, that's because he dropped out of a number of tournaments. But even so, he would have been a tough player to have met in the qualifying stages. Don't put it past him, he probably would have qualified in playing this type of snooker. But his game looks in great shape, and he's one of the very few players that other snooker players bow down to. And in the country box, it's just the standard of play he can produce.
Well, we were talking yesterday about how Mark has struggled to face up to Ronnie in the last few years. In fact, it's been 10 years since he beat Ronnie, and he's got it all to do if he's to turn that around now.
Well, he joined us just when the genius has made a mistake. Attempted safety shot and unfortunately caught the blue.
Depends whether he fancies playing this really slow to get onto the black in the same pocket. Didn't fancy it much. We played with check side, so perhaps he did.
Thank you.
As he lost the cue ball, it's mighty close.
Do you think he's gone for a maximum already?
Well, it's not beyond the realms of possibilities when you think you're 12-5 behind. It's the only way of getting a few quid out of the tournament, isn't it? 'Cause that's unlikely he's going to win the match, and we know he can make 1-4-7s.
16.
Oh dear.
Mark Williams, 16.
That was a very much unlike Mark Williams' shot. He's one of the best slow ball rollers in the game. You know, he very rarely misses a slow roll through. One of those players that blessed with being hit plain ball, and that's the key on these cloths. In plain ball, but he put a little bit of unwanted side on then.
1.
Well, ready at the back of the cluster, which if he pots, will knock the others all over the place. Just see how he plays this, whether he plays it with topspin or he screws it, but as long as you get the pot, still in the driver's seat. Topspin then. And when he's finished, he can count himself quite unlucky. It was looking all right till that red flicked the cue ball onto the side rail. May just be a safety shot. Just seeing to having a look in the balk area, just see where he's leave the cue ball so he covers that red with the blue.
Brownville. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 9.
Not a great amount of alternatives for Mark Williams here. He'll just be playing the dump shot here, leave the cue ball on the top.
Well, there's a cuttable red in the left-hand middle that Ronnie might take on. He'll probably be kissing into the green if he takes it on, so that may make him a bit reluctant to try it. Doesn't fancy either the potable reds in the middle, so it looks like he's decided on trying to get the white back in behind the black spot area. Oh, nearly a fluke.
Good shot from Mark, that. Cue ball tight enough to the top cushion, so difficult to raise the cue in the air and get back to that same area. Can't see where he's going to leave this safe, actually. Got to hit this properly. The cue ball will be bouncing here. That was as good as he could do, really, but the cue ball's come off. Watch this, jumps up in the air there. Always difficult. Mark Williams has got one in the centre pocket.
And this is fraught with danger. Well played, Mark Williams. I think he got up very quickly. I don't know whether he had a kick, but he was up off the cue very quickly there. I think he thought he missed it for a second.
Seven. 8. Twelve. 13. 16. 17. 23. 24.
Well, all credit to Mark Williams. Professional pride still there. Knows Ronnie only needs the one frame to advance to the quarter-final, but he's still in there punching.
26. 27.
Well, not the best kiss, not the desired kiss, but he still has the green available in the middle. He played for the blue in the corner. Still has the choice of playing blue, but obviously a lot more difficult than it would have been without the kiss. Good recovery. Needs that right to travel. Don't think he's on anything. That's the only place. Another 2 inches either way is on the red.
Mark Williams, 32.
Well, a lead of 39 for Mark Williams, and well, when he has a choice of shots, he could play the one that's up near the baulk line, or he may choose to move the red on the left-hand side cushion off, but it's the long pot, is it? Goodness me, how pure was that? Right through the middle of the white.
Well, that's just unbelievable when you consider this match is over 25 frames. Ronnie O'Sullivan would be pleased 50% pot success rate on long pots. That's 1 in every 2, because half the time you're playing a shot to nothing. So over an 81%. I guarantee that's the highest he's been in the last 4 or 5 years.
6.
25 of 31, I've just been told in my ear that is the long game. And if he can clear it from here, this will be another very, very good clearance. He came to the table 30 odd points behind. Doesn't have a great angle on this red, that's why he's looking at the other one, but he can screw back for blue or green or even the pink. Doesn't have to run through for the black.
It just finished slightly awkward, just off straight.
14.
And no problem when you're under extras.
Could you make 20 left-handed, John? I mean, a lot of players can't hit the ball left.
Wouldn't make 8.
It is definitely a gift. There's a few players now that Brissell, I was very impressed with him. I think he'll be a future star. Matthew Stevens is obviously pretty good left-handed. Now just these three-quarter ball angle on the pink.
90.
He'll be certain to get onto the last red. These next 2 shots will tell whether Mark Williams is going to spend any more time in this World Championship.
Thank you. Ronnie Sullivan, 19. Thank you.
Yes, he was literally 2 shots away from going into the quarterfinals. Didn't expect him to miss that. So just colour red,
White.
and Mark Williams will keep this game alive. We need another colour off the last red if he takes a baulk colour.
Five. Thank you. 6. Ten.
So that unexpected miss from O'Sullivan leaves Mark
15.
Williams to clear up. And well done to him. Showing a very good
90.
attitude.
$24. Mark Williams, 24. And
Well, Mark Williams has kept this match alive. O'Sullivan had a chance to pinch it, but Mark Williams reduces his deficit to 12-6. Well, Ronnie looked like he was all out to win the last frame there. With this shot with the rest, John, unlikely miss, wasn't it?
Yes, I mean, it's difficult to make sort of any excuses over it, really. You know, he looked at initially like he was going to play it ordinary, then he had to get the extension on his cue, but even so, I mean, you'd expect him to knock this one in just off straight. No reason why he should miss that. The balls he's potted today, but well, he did, and Mark Williams managed to clear up. So well done to him. He's still in there punching away. 12-6, mission impossible, really, but personal pride involved.
Now, Mark Williams has gone out at the hands of Ronnie 3 times in the last 6 years. When you come up against the same opponent in the same circumstances in the same venue all of these times, does it begin to get to you? Does it become mental block after a while, Steve?
I suppose it can. It would help if Mark can beat him in other events to sort of get a bit of a glimmer of a hope. But obviously, I'm not too sure with Mark whether he does study the form guide that strongly. As it is, he probably feels, as do many, that Ronnie O'Sullivan's such a genius with a cue that, that anything he does is overshadowed. And one of Mark Williams' strengths, I've said it earlier in one of the other programmes, great artistry has Mark Williams, but unfortunately he's up against somebody who has more in Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Well, I'm sure Ronnie O'Sullivan's breaking off, hoping this will be the last time he breaks off this evening. 12-6 in front. 2 more frames before the mid-session interval. I'm sure Ronnie'd like to get it over before then if he can, just to get as much rest as possible.
Oh, it's definitely available to Mark Williams, this. Just sneak past the brown.
Well, he was upon that shot very, very quickly, wasn't he? He knew he hadn't hit that good. The middle one of the 3 just to the below the ball pot, as we see Mark taking this shot in again. And there is, amazingly enough, a chance to get into the black here. I wonder whether he'll risk it. Well, there's your answer.
1.
And with him playing that shot, you know what's in his mind at the moment. And he's only scored 1.
And for once, I agree with you entirely, Mr. Thorne.
8.
It's only 8, but there you go.
1 red, 1 black. That's very nice of the director to put that in, isn't it?
9.
Just count them when there's 15 there.
Well, there were 2 very good attempts this afternoon to equal Stephen Hendry's match made on the first day. This may be another one.
16. 17. 24.
Well, clearly the red to the left of the black is causing a problem here. If he's not dead straight, he may not be able to play for the black. We couldn't, so that's
25.
end of my prediction. Have to be 146 instead.
What it also tells me is he's keen to get this match over with. As you said, Willie, nice to get it done and dusted and back to the hotel, have a nice evening off.
32. 39.
Oh dear,
40.
that was careless. That was careless. Massive gap to go through the reds there to get onto the black.
Yellow ball.
Just, I know he's got a relatively new tip on, which is obviously playing very, very well.
Ross
Now and
Sullivan,
again, when
40.
you get into a ball, you really get into it, and he really got into this. It's the gap he had there to go through the gap. Massive gap. He's planning to hit the one that's nearest the pocket, and ideally off 3 cushions, so he won't leave it on. If he catches it off 2 cushions.
Foul and a miss. Mark Williams, 4.
I don't see that he can hit that red. I thought he was playing the one that's nearest the pocket. And I can't understand why he would want to play that red next to the black, John.
No, I think he may be struggling to hit the one that's near the pocket, but the angle's the way they are, but we'll soon see. Playing the same one again.
Foul and a miss. Mark
It's
Williams,
not on
4.
that shot, I'm afraid.
Foul and a miss. Mark Williams, 4.
Yeah, we often talk on commentary about how cushions slide. Once you've hit the second cushion, they widen a little bit more. And if you happen to the third cushion, it widens even more. Now, he was 40 points in front a few moments ago. He's now only 28. I'm afraid, Ronnie, this shot's not on.
Foul and a miss. Mark Williams, 4. Foul and a miss. Mark Williams, 4.
Funny thing is, the last one he's played is probably the right way to play a side cushion and come off from behind so you can just rest on it.
Yeah, the
I think-
first 3 or 4, John. He was playing 3 cushions, wasn't he? Now he's decided the 4 cushion escape, and that is on.
Doesn't want to slide past it.
Foul and a miss. Mark Williams, 4.
I think it might be going back. Well, it's not quite the record yet.
Might be a record for Ronnie, though. Don't think I've ever seen Ronnie miss 7 snookers on the trot. Obviously, it's very, very simple to hit one of the other reds, but that would leave the game on, so he's got to persevere because he knows this is the only red he can hit to get safe. This is perfect. I think if it bounces. Oh, no, it slid by it again.
Foul and a miss. Mark Williams, 4.
Well, John was just about to tell you the record was 48 points. We're at 28 now. So 5 more misses. Another record he'll hold.
And I commentated on that one as well.
Foul and a miss. Mark Williams, 4.
I don't know whether Ronnie's got somewhere to go, but just look at his watch. He was suggesting he could be here a little bit longer than he thought. Mark Williams won't mind. Could win a frame without getting off his seat. That's never happened. That's not going to get there either.
Foul and a miss. Mark Williams, 4.
An inch further to the right, Ronnie, and you'll hit it properly.
Thank you.
Not the other side of it. Oh, he's hit it. Well done. Well, having given 36 points away, he eventually hit it. And as you can see, that was the only way really he could get it in a safe position, or a safe-ish position.
Well, I've done myself plenty of times. You don't make your mind up what shot to play, and in the end you get down and don't play any. He was thinking of all sorts there, Mark.
Not a lot of cue power needed here. He wants to get back up for the blue or bought colours. He's decided to play for the black, and that's dangerous, isn't it?
Would be if he didn't cue like him.
Well, he knows how important this black is. If it goes in and gets on a red, it could be all over.
Eight.
Yes, John mentioned sometimes you're in two minds, but he's mishit that by 2 or 3 inches. Played a half ball and hit quarter ball.
9.
Well, he'd be very disappointed not to wrap up the match from here. These reds in the middle of the table, if you were practicing.
16.
Obviously, we're never shocked at the result when people like Hendry and
17.
O'Sullivan play, but I was a bit shocked at obviously the score with Hendry. I'm a little bit shocked at this one. I thought this would be a close match. OK, O'Sullivan may have been favourite coming into it, but I thought it was a 13-8, 13-9 match.
24. 25. 32. 33.
Well, this really is a first chance now to close the match out. If he had to give the 36 points away, he would have already been enough in front.
Yes, and he was absolutely virtuoso yesterday afternoon. 6 frames of the finest snooker I've ever seen played at the Crucible. Absolutely wonderful he was.
41.
And Mark Williams had to sit and watch and appreciate. And when he's in this form and hitting the ball as well as he is, and he's as focused as he is a serious handful for anybody in this tournament.
48.
Yes, the result today is already gone favourite with Judd Trump going out. It's now 2-1 favourite before
49.
the evening session to win this tournament.
Yes, and what a matching prospect we've got with the Neil Robertson, who I thought in the second part of his opening session against
56.
Dave Gilbert was absolutely awesome. So it's a match to relish.
Yes, deserved of the
57.
one-table situation, but that's the way the draw is. O'Sullivan had dropped down the rankings. He wouldn't have expected to play Neil at this early stage, the quarter-finals, but that's the scenario now. He'll be pretty pleased with himself. It'll be interesting to see his press conference to whether he feels like he's playing well.
65.
He certainly looks like he's playing as well as he has done for 2 or 3 years for me. I don't think I've seen him hit the ball this well for a while. Well, once again, we should have had a century in the first frame this evening. We could have had a century in this frame, but Ronnie O'Sullivan looked superb. Mark Williams offers his hand in congratulation. Ronnie O'Sullivan goes through to the quarter-final and wins the match by 13 frames to 6.